This is Dan Dix here reporting for Press for Truth with breaking news as wildfires are spreading all across the West Coast for the past couple of weeks now. So as you can tell by the title of this video, today we're going to be asking the question, is this the result of climate change or could this be due to arson? And if we look at what some of the police have been doing in these areas, you may lean towards the latter. So today we're going to look at this. Springfield man accused of starting small brush fires in Dexter. Deputies said the fire had potential to spread quickly and thanked the community members who spotted the fire and put it out before it could hurt anyone or damage any structures. We'll also look at this. A man arrested and suspected of lighting fires in Marin County. A 55-year-old transient man arrested Monday evening on suspicion of multiple counts of arson. Here we have a man arrested and charged with arson in connection with Southern Oregon fire. A Southern Oregon man is accused of arson in connection with a fire that has caused major damage to several towns in Jackson County. So who on earth is doing all these things? Well, according to this post-millennial article, we see here a BLM activist live streamed his own arrest after allegedly setting fire in Washington state. A BLM activist, alleged arsonist, charged for reckless burning in the second degree, had reported a fire set in Washington and then filmed his subsequent arrest. So we're going to take a look at that one, guys. And speaking of video, incredible video when it comes to this stuff, look at this. Woman in Oregon allegedly caught an arsonist on her property with matches, uses her Second Amendment rights to stop him. Get a load of this video.
Get on the floor! Get on the floor right now! Right down! What are you doing in my property?
Passing through, I didn't know the property.
Did you light anything on fire?
No, ma'am.
What are you doing?
Did you light anything on fire? What are you doing with matches in your hands? What are you doing on my property? She holds it down until the police comes. Incredible video. We're going to look a little bit more into that. Meanwhile, guys, Facebook and the FBI have waged info war on the West Coast wildfire arson conspiracy theories. A top Facebook official tweeted Saturday it would delete posts alleging that leftist organizations started wildfires in Oregon and other western states after the FBI said arson reports are conspiracy theories. So what theory do they want to push here, if not arson, which is what a lot of the police officers are discovering, as we've shown? Well, of course, the theory is, what's behind the unprecedented wildfires ravaging California? More evidence of climate change role in extreme fires in Western Canada and the US. And we're going to dig deep into this claim here by the CBC, guys, because it now has major politicians like Barack Obama chiming in on that, echoing those words. The fire across the West Coast are just the latest examples of the very real ways our changing climate is changing our communities, chalking it up to climate change. Protecting our planet is on the ballot. Vote like your life depends on it, because it does. Here we have Hillary Clinton chiming in. None of this is normal. Yeah, well, you're right about that. And confronting climate change is on the ballot this year. Vote as early as you can for a habitable planet. So this is just unbelievable. Guys, we're going to cover all of this and much more in this video, so stay tuned. But before we do, guys, I need to remind you that I am under very heavy attack right now. My Facebook page was deleted. My YouTube channel, Press for Truth, was completely permanently disabled, guys. And as I tried to raise funds for being assaulted and arrested earlier in the year, my GoFundMe campaigns were terminated. So I'm under heavy attack right now, I believe because I'm over the target and my information is going against the status quo. They don't like that, guys. So if this is something you support and you want to continue to see me continue to produce this type of information, please go to pressfortruth.ca, and if you click on the second banner here at the top, Press for Truth Band, you'll come to this page here where it shows you all the places you can find me now, where I'm uploading on a daily basis, and also to where you can financially support my efforts. You can click here to become a PFT patron. You can use Subscribestar here by clicking on that banner. You can contribute a one-time PayPal donation by clicking here on this banner. You can use the Go Get Funding campaign, which I launched after GoFundMe canceled me, or you can send a one-time e-transfer to dan@pressfortruth.ca. Guys, once again, if you appreciate my efforts to bring you this information, please go to pressfortruth.ca and click on the Press for Truth Banned on Video banner. All right, guys, so we're going to start with this. Get a load of this video. This is the governor of California with a creepy smile on his face saying there is no debate about it. Hands down, this is a result of climate change. Get a load of this.
This perfect storm. The debate is over around climate change. Just come to the state of California. Observe it with your own eyes. It's not an intellectual debate. It's not even debatable.
Not even debatable. It's not an intellectual debate. Just come and see it with your own eyes. We're going to see what the rest of what he had said here, but I want to see that one more time. This guy is so creepy. This is crazy. Let me see if I can full screen it.
This perfect storm. The debate is over around climate change. Just come to the state of California. Observe it with your own eyes. It's not an intellectual debate. It's not even debatable. We're in the midst of a climate emergency. We're in the midst of a climate crisis. We are experiencing weather conditions the likes of which we've never experienced in our lifetime. We're experiencing what so many people predicted decades and decades ago, but all of that now is reality.
Really? What exactly is the governor of California basing that on other than standing in a pile of smoldering rubble? Why don't we go by the evidence that's being produced by the police who are finding guys like this? Deputies said they learned of a fire near the Frisbee Golf Course at 1:45 p.m. on Wednesday. The fire was in a wooded area near the 3900 block of Highway 58. Goes on to say a man was seen leaving the area in a minivan shortly before the fire was found. Deputies said the fire had potential to spread quickly. They thanked the community members who spotted the fire and put it out before it could hurt anyone. The incident is not related to the Holiday Farm fire in Mackenzie area, but this is the beginning of an interesting trend we're starting to see over multiple days and weeks. This one gets a little more sinister. A 55-year-old transient was arrested Monday evening on suspicion of multiple counts of arson. Officers joined the Novato Fire Protection District in responding to a fire of a tree on fire in the 1500 block of Novato Boulevard. Another fire was discovered in the area of Diablo Avenue. It says as fire crews worked to contain both fires, officers searched the area and located a suspect lighting a fire on Front Street. Officers detained the suspect, identified as John Davies. Fire crews responded to the third fire and successfully contained and extinguished all three. Davies was arrested and booked into Marin County Jail on suspicion of lighting all three fires in the area. That one seems pretty clear. And then this one is even crazier, guys. A Southern Oregon man is accused of arson in connection with a fire that has caused major damage to several towns in Jackson County. Michael Jared Bakella, 41, has arrested on 2 counts of arson, 15 counts of criminal mischief, and 14 counts of reckless endangerment. The fire Bakella set is considered to be one of the 2 origins of the Alameda fire, said Oregon State Fire Marshals. The 2 fires quickly merged, Tyler said. The Jackson County Sheriff's Office said in a news release Friday afternoon that on Tuesday evening, a resident of Phoenix saw a person, later identified as Bakella, lighting a fire behind their house. Because there was an impeding blaze, the residents who saw him set the fire had to flee their home. So eyewitness accounts of people literally going around setting fires, not only eyewitness accounts, but you have this guy who live streamed his own arrest as it is alleged that he set the fires that he supposedly called in. A BLM activist, alleged arsonist, charged for reckless burning in the 2nd degree, had reported a fire set in Washington and then filmed his subsequent arrest. Jeffrey Acord, 36, called 911 Wednesday evening to report a fire in the median of the highway of 167 near Tacoma. After dialing dispatch services, he then live-streamed the incident to his Facebook page, providing constant narration, and they ended up arresting the guy. Post Millennial did a deep dive into his background here. It says here, Post Millennial researched his history of anti-police protesting and encounters with law enforcement. In June, he led a Black Lives Matter march in Seattle. Previously, in 2014, he was caught with a cache of weapons, arrested during the Ferguson A decision protest. Officers found the man carrying a 7-inch knife in his backpack, a box of ammunition, an assault rifle, a shotgun, a box full of illegal fireworks. When officers contacted him, he admitted to carrying a loaded gun without a permit. They set his bail for $10,000. Yeah, sources told protesters Privilege that Acord is now a suspect in 2 other local fires. As of Thursday morning, the Sumner grade fire in Sumner that destroyed 4 homes and Bonnie Lake had burned more than 800 acres. The unprecedented fires raging in Washington state have become a seasonal norm, but some suspect arson because of the locations of the smaller fires in suburban neighborhoods and in proximity to interstate highways. Residents of Bonnie Lake told Cairo 7 News that they found broken glass with newspapers in the brush. Residents of Buckley, Washington have reported similar claims in neighborhood social media groups. And get a load of this. In response to the allegations of arson, Washington State Representative Jim Walsh released a statement. I'm getting a lot of reports from residents of Washington State that the current wave of wildfires in Washington and Oregon may have been caused or at least made worse by politically motivated arsonists. How could their motives be political? To set fire, to blame them on climate change? We have pretty good evidence that several of the major fires burning recently in Washington were human-made, but not arson. However, a large number of the fires burning in Oregon seem to have suspicious origins, and a growing number of people in Washington are reporting suspicious behavior on the parts of strangers and visitors, which raises concerns. Obviously, very, very real concerns about what's going on right now. This is why this lady took it to the extreme of pulling her gun on this guy, because she found him lighting fires on her own property, with literally caught red-handed with the matches in his hands. Let's pull this back a little bit and watch it again.
Get off the floor right now. Right down. What are you doing on my property?
Passing through, I didn't know the property.
Did you light anything on fire?
No, ma'am.
What are you doing with those matches on your head?
I smoke.
You smoke? Where are your fucking cigarettes?
You don't want to have matches right now.
Did you light anything up on fire?
I hope you can hear that. She said, "What are you doing with the matches in your hand? You know, what are you doing here on my property?" He said, "I didn't know it was your property." "Well, what are you doing with the matches?" He said, "I smoke." She says, "Where are your cigarettes?" And he's got no response to that.
What's your name?
For reality.
You're gonna stay right there. I got the cops coming.
She's got the cops coming. Says here, even if mainstream media doesn't report about arson, the arsonists are real, and 4 have been arrested on suspicion of arson in West Coast areas, already under siege from major destruction and deadly blazes, according to the reports. As wildfires continues to rage across the states, police investigated separate incidences near existing wildfires. 2 men in Washington State, 1 in Oregon, 1 woman in California are facing charges. In any case, this brave patriot did the right job by stopping this madman. So here we see all this stuff is happening. Meanwhile, the authorities are just going to try to silence all that, squash this stuff, and just say, no, don't go there. That's just conspiracy theories, folks. It's all climate change. A top Facebook official tweeted Saturday it would delete posts alleging leftist organizations started wildfires in Oregon and other western states after the FBI said arson reports are conspiracy theories. We are removing false claims that certain groups started the wildfires in Oregon. Does that include the police reports? This is based on confirmation from law enforcement that these rumors are forcing local fire and police agencies to divert resources from fighting the fires and protecting the public, Andy Stone tweeted on Saturday. He continued, this is consistent with our past efforts to remove content that could lead to imminent harm, giving the possible risk to human life as the fire rages on. This is just absolute ludicrousy, guys. Again, controlling the narrative moving forward to paint the picture that climate change is the reason for all of this. As we said, the CBC article here makes that claim, and we're going to debunk that right now. Let's take a look at it. More evidence of climate change role in extreme fires in Western Canada and the U.S. Okay, what's their evidence here, right, for more climate change, proof that it's climate change? So what's behind this disaster? Diefenbaugh said there are multiple contributors behind any individual fire, including ignition from lightning or humans, and the availability of dry fuel to feed the flames. But research over the past 15 years shows that climate change has drastically amplified the risk of many conditions that help wildfires ignite and spread. We now have very strong evidence from those years of research that global warming is in fact increasing the odds of unprecedented extremes. Do you see what's happening here? They have nothing. This is a big nothing burger. They're saying nothing here. Up here they make the claim more evidence of climate change and role of these extreme fires. Okay, what's your more evidence? Oh, well, that the past 15 years of our research shows that it's climate change. We now have strong evidence from those years of research that it's climate change. They even said a couple sentences up, multiple contributors are behind any individual fire, including ignition from lightning, or humans. And then they just say, oh no, it's just our past 15 years which shows. No, they don't have any proof that this was climate change at all. They just say it's our past evidence that says so. It's just absolutely ridiculous. And now, as we said, you got these politicians chiming in and echoing that idea, which is going to permeate into the minds of the masses. Guys, I made a documentary, a short film once, and in there I included a small section about just the dangers of putting this into the hands of the environmentalists when it comes to protecting the environment, because sometimes that actually leads to dangerous fires. Here's a clip from that doc.
5 years ago, Slave Lake, another northern Alberta town, had a massive wildfire clear through the neighborhood. The damage was totaled at $800 million. The province funded an inquiry, and 18 months later, a report was published. The first recommendation was to cut down trees near municipal buildings, roads, and hospitals. But in this age of environmental fascism, where cutting down trees is considered a sinful act, the report was ignored. In fact, just ignoring the report would have been better than what actually happened. Places like Fort McMurray, under pressure from environmental groups, actually planted more trees next to the highways and buildings, all in the name of ecotourism. While the wildfires was a natural disaster, the overall damage, especially in Fort McMurray, was man-made.
The overall damage was man-made, folks, and we've seen that before. That's no shocking revelation. You remember from last year when there was a whole bunch of church burnings going on? People just thought it was accidental or random. Well, I pointed out in this video, church burnings are escalating, and it's no mistake. It's satanic, and there was a very real agenda behind that. Just as it seems today, ladies and gentlemen, that there is some very real truth behind the fact that, look, people are being arrested for doing these things, and you've got all these mainstream media outlets and politicians just claiming it's global warming, it's climate change. Don't listen to the conspiracy theorists that this is any kind of anything else. Well, you be the judge today, folks, because you're not going to get this kind of information from the mainstream. This is why I wanted to bring it to your attention today. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Are you leaning more towards that this is looking like it's the work of arsonists, possibly the work of leftists, BLM, Antifa, whoever, environmentalists? Or do you think this is chalked up to an organic case of natural climate change, even though there's no real evidence for that, but there is evidence for the arson claim? Guys, let me know what you think in the comment section below. And if you appreciate my efforts to bring you this information, please click the thumbs up button and share this video with your friends and family. Don't forget to also check us out here at pressfortruth.ca/band. If you click on the top banner, Press for Truth Band, you'll find out to where you can support my efforts financially here on this channel moving forward. If that's something you would like to do, it'll be greatly appreciated as we continue to bring you this type of information, as I say, that you're not getting from the mainstream moving forward, guys. So once again, please click that thumbs up button, share this video if you found the information to be useful, and stay tuned, guys. We're going to have more video reports coming soon. This is Dan Dix reporting for Press for Truth.
We all want truth. The truth will set you free.